have a movie going.
Cheers.
Oh.
Cheers.
Yes.
Yeah, I have this bomb screen recorder that I use for my classes, and so.
That's cool.
And you guys, like Glenn and me, you got to go on Facebook, but it's Facebook is the Instagram.
Yeah, they're not on Facebook.
No, it's Instagram and Twitter for old people like us. But we had so I had a pep rally, and so I don't know if you guys saw that. Did you see that on Instagram, guys? I don't know.
I didn't know. I didn't see it.
So I'll have to send it. I had a pep rally, and USC promoted it. It was the full gallery view, and we were doing Tusk, and it was with my class.
That's cool.
And I use this thing. I use this screen recorder for it. So.
That is the cool thing too. Like, I mean, even like we've done a couple times where we've had webinars where people aren't able to attend. So then at least if you have another meeting or whatever, then you could at least still see it. Whereas in typical life, if we had a meeting and someone missed it, you missed it. That's it. So it actually is kind of nice to use it for things like that where, if people have overlapping, meetings or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Uncle Johnny, Aunt Julie, I know Daniel's eating, so I'm only going to switch over for a second, but since you've never met him, I just want you to meet Daniel.
I'm sorry.
No, there's a pizza? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Lots of pizza.
Oh, awesome.
Yummy.
That looks delicious.
Nick's in the pool, but he said he wanted to say hi to you guys, but he literally just jumped in. I was like, that's okay, I'll say hi to him for you guys.
I forget, what city do you guys live in again? I was trying to tell Daniel Orange County, but I forget the city.
Laguna Niguel.
Laguna Niguel.
Yeah. I was telling him, I was like, for some reason, the name of the city wasn't coming to me, but I was like, we went there all the time growing up, so Laguna Niguel.
Daisy, have you been out of California that long? Oh my God.
Look at Cece, I'm wearing my California necklace.
There you go.
Very
good. We're going to have to come out to Tennessee and do some barbecue.
Yeah. Hey, yes. You definitely will. Tennessee is beautiful. It is so green and lush here.
It's like Vegas with cowboy hats.
Yeah.
It's adult Disneyland.
Hey, I see a Steelers shirt. Auntie Julie, you're a Steelers fan?
No, it's
Saints.
Oh, no, the Saints. The Saints.
Who that says they're going to beat them Saints?
That's right. Always hopeful.
Oh,
but
so Daniel
likes the Titans too because one of our students plays for the Titans.
Who?
Adoree Jackson.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in our class.
Yes, yes, I remember that. Whenever so Daniel really got me into football because I didn't understand too much before, and he would literally stop, get up, and show me the place so where I can understand it to where it's fun now,
Oh, yeah.
And then with work, we always have tickets for packages, but if they don't sell, then our work will give it to us for basically $10 just so that they're not giving them to us, so it doesn't look bad from that standpoint. And so we went to the game. His parents came. We went and saw the Bills game, and I think we all went for $60 or something, 4 of us.
Yeah,
that's nice.
And we had the best time. But yeah, I like football a lot now. But so the Titans are my team because that's when I started learning football.
Yeah. No, we always cheer for them.
Yeah, she way back when before she totally knew everything about football, but she really got into it when she first was in the law firm, Glennie. When she first got out of law school, it was a big law firm, and it was a betting pool.
They had a pool. They had a football pool
all season long.
All season long, and I won the football pool.
She won.
I was so obsessed
because she had it all figured out on a spreadsheet.
I was like,
hey, she's smarter now.
That's true. That's what happens when you're smarter than everyone else.
That's what happens when you're smart. That's actually funny because when Daniel was in a fantasy league and when there's, you put money involved and stuff, it's now you're really excited. In every single game you're watching what's going on. Yeah. So the same with the Super Bowl. I always put money here, there, and I'm like, okay, all I care about is what the end score is now.
Yeah.
Have any of you guys watched The Last Dance?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, it is so good. I love that. I love documentaries just because to me I think you get entertainment plus you're learning and all that. But man, he is just determination, commitment, like it's just at like such a different level that like reminds you, like, I mean, we all work hard, but it's like, if you are that focused, I mean, you can make anything happen, you know, but like
No,
on the
I
other
was
hand too,
telling
it's kind
Daniel.
of interesting how many people he got like backlash from, or, you know, gave him a hard time because he was such a hard worker, that it's like, it's just so interesting to me that, like, you know, one, yes, you can do whatever the heck you want to do if you have enough focus and drive and commitment. But on the other hand, too, there's so many people that don't understand that level of commitment, that like, that is why there is such like a divide sometimes with people.
Sissy,
It's
did
just,
you see the comment where he made up the comment in his head just to that he
Yes.
would?
Yeah, like all the fights
I
and
watched
yeah.
that yesterday. Yeah.
Yes, and at the end he's like, so that was never said, but like
Yeah,
I
he's like,
needed
nope.
to hear that.
Yeah.
That was
No,
actually,
it is really, really good. I really enjoyed it.
it made me realize like he's got a very different personality. Like that documentary showed a different light of him, but also, yeah, like you said, determination for sure. I think Dad will really enjoy it.
As far as like, you know, like I don't know, he's kind of interesting when it comes to like fans and stuff. You could tell he wasn't like huge on, you know, or he isn't huge on the fans, but like just his commitment and work ethic to me is really interesting, you know?
Right.
And really
You know that guy, Jerry Krause? I actually have him in my toilet. I got to get his head out of my toilet right now. I'm going to go get him right now.
Because they're cross.
Isn't that crazy? He was, oh my gosh, he was like, I think someone, what was it, like Steve Kerr or someone said it like best, like he, you know, made so many good moves, but he couldn't get out of his own way.
No.
You know, like, and it's like, okay, yeah, that like perfectly summarized it. It's so good. Have you
No, we've been doing, of course.
It's like, no,
I really enjoyed it. I think it's great. I mean, I love documentaries themselves, but I think that was really good.
Then you have to have seen Tiger King.
It's so, it makes you cringe, doesn't it?
Oh my God! You realize how Trump got elected to office.
Exactly. That's exactly what I said to Nick. Nick and I were saying the same thing. We're like, this is exactly how he got elected. Is from actually, have you seen the Hillary documentary at all on Hulu?
No,
that one's actually a really good one too. But it's like it's kind of like the same thing. It's like, this is how he got elected. This is insanity.
I know. There's this. I'll never forget when he did get elected. All of my students were crying, stuff like that in my class, and we were so convinced. We had champagne on ice, waiting for Hillary to be elected.
Yeah.
And I remember I told my class, I said, you realize that, you know, living in a city like New York or living in a city like LA, you assume that everybody in the country is like you are, and there's a huge swath that is so out there, man.
Yeah, I mean, me living here, I know exactly what you're saying, because I did not think half the things still existed in our own country.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to say something. I'm going to interrupt Stephen. I'm going to say something. You know, Johnny Boy, way back, I think it was like the second week or third week of March, he goes, you got to get Stephen out of freaking New York. Remember you told me that?
No,
I'm trying to get you out of New York.
It was in, you know, I mean, and this is, you know, Aunt Julie, she started plotting the data in January. And, and we had our own Excel spreadsheet in January. She says, it's coming. We're getting ready. It's coming.
No, the day you told me that, I told me that, I go, you know, we love you. You go, you gotta get Stevie out of here.
Yeah, we're all trying to get him out of there, but I'm glad he's out of there now.
Hey, Julie, are you working on that lottery too?
Yeah, we need to get that going.
I'll put in on it.
We're glad you got home okay, Stephen. We were thinking about you the whole time. That must have been so weird to be in New York and have it be so quiet and just like not normal and have everything be so weird.
Like, I mean, because I'm normally like, I'm so used to all the background noise of just like you go on the street and there's always cars. It doesn't matter what time of the day or the night. There's cars, there's people, there's noise. And like one day I was like going downstairs, I was going to call a friend. And then I was like, something seems really odd today. And then I was just like, oh, it's just like quiet on the street. Like there's nothing different about it. It's just quiet.
How you doing?
Yeah, that's great, and especially in New York, it's just nonstop. I mean, I've been there a couple times. It's just
Well,
Well,
I
people
think that,
jogging in the streets and stuff, or like
yeah, like people were like skateboarding in the street, like doing all their like biking in the middle of the road, like up 7th Avenue, and you're just kind of
That's so
like,
crazy.
what the heck?
Dang.
But I mean, the thing
Give it
that
out, give it out a bottle. Give it out a bottle to that guy.
the thing also that was just kind of crazy too, it just like there's so much diversity in New York, which is like, I mean, one of the reasons I love living there. It's like you have the richest people in the world living amongst like the poorest people, and everyone commingles. You have like your socioeconomic backgrounds that are just like completely diverse, that just live day to day all together, and everyone is fine. But like when you kind of like then the epidemic happened, and you see that it's only poor people out on the street.
Yeah.
And there is no rich people anymore.
They
And
all
they
scattered.
scattered.
yeah, and you just kind of like, well, like, and then you kind of feel like, well, like, am I a target now? Because obviously a lot of like, people that are homeless are mentally, like, they're mentally challenged and all of these other issues. And so it's like, well, now you're kind of like on the street, and you were one of thousands of people that this homeless person saw. And now you're one of maybe 10 people, and you're kind of just like, that's a big difference in your day to day when you're just trying to go for a walk or something like that.
Pretty eerie. Yeah.
It was weird how the people from New York that have so much money, they were like, okay, we're gonna go like to a private island, or we're gonna go on a yacht, or we're gonna go to Connecticut. Just like just they all had these little secret hideaways that they went.
Yeah. Well, one of Nick's employees, she was like, oh, hey, I'm sorry, but if you don't mind, she goes, if we could just like push like our call just a little bit back. She goes, I'm like in transition or whatever. And it's like, okay, fine. She just figured she was going like to another house or something. And then got on line with her, and he goes, oh, so where are you at? She's like, oh, I'm on my parents' yacht, like, in Newport Coast. And Nick's like, oh, okay, like, I guess that's one way to quarantine. As long as you have internet, I guess it really doesn't matter where you're at, but
it's cool if you have a yacht.
He had a plan too. That's why he's at a little piece of paradise.
Hey, Matt and Dave, say hi. Look.
That's Matt and Dave. They were little.
How are the boys doing?
They're doing good. Yeah. Matt just got into graduate school at UC Irvine, so we're really excited about that.
Yeah, he was working. Just here he comes. To get his regimen going. He started working at UPS. He's really thinned out. Come here, Matt. And here, come over here.
Matt, come say hi.
Okay, push Paul away.
There he is. There's Matt. There we go.
I just cut his hair today.
Yeah, look at Julie cuts my hair and his hair.
Hey, I think we're looking at a future Christmas party.
Yeah. But
He was Stacy. Stacy.
Yeah.
All you need is Davey. Is he there too?
He's upstairs with his girlfriend.
Oh my God.
He'll be coming back. He'll come out later. But
Johnny, you're bad.
Julie just like got really red.
So Matt was working at UPS. Here, I got to get rid of my little. I got a meeting. Not today.
Meeting reminder.
Meeting reminder. Yeah, so Matt worked at UPS since October.
Here's David.
Since October. Here's Dave.
You have to come poke your head in.
There he goes. Just put your head right here.
All right, prove that what's not happening.
All right, ready? Come over here, right here, Dave. Kiss me, David.
Everyone in there.
Okay, ready? On the count of three, everybody smile. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Hey, baby.
Say something. Look at Dave's beard.
Is that quarantine or is that by choice?
A stud muffin.
He just wants to see how big it'll get.
All right, goodbye.
I thought everyone's been doing the quarantine beard, the quarantine haircuts, all of like the. Nick gave Steven a haircut last weekend.
We just unplugged our laptop.
It's okay. I got power. It's good. In fact, we remodeled our house. So I can take you a tour for a quick tour.
Oh, there you go.
Wanna check it out?
Are you having
All right,
technical?
So Julie will be leading the tour, and I'll follow her. I don't know if it'll look good, but so you guys remember our house? You'll see how we knocked down
Yeah.
walls.
Wait. Where's my bedroom? Where's my bedroom?
Wait a minute, did you change
Your bedroom has a closet in it now.
And a much better TV. We got a better TV for you, buddy.
Hey, I like TV. It's
All right, Julie's gonna take you for a tour.
There we go.
Okay, the other thing is that-
Oh, so there was a wall right there, right?
Yeah.
So there used to be a wall right here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, that's nice and open now. I would love that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, window. Oh, I like that.
Wow, that's awesome.
And this is the this is the hood that you raise when you're cooking.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Means awesome.
Oh, there you go.
That's so
That's
cool.
crazy to raise a hood when you cook, huh?
All right. So we'll keep going this way. So go back the other way. All right. So there's the rest of the kitchen. All right.
Oh, all white marble. That's beautiful.
It looks beautiful. Job.
Beautiful.
Oh, Johnny boy, good job.
Look at
Keep
the
it working,
wildflowers.
bro.
Those are Louisiana wildflowers out there.
Oh,
Hey,
nice.
keep it working.
Pretty.
Yeah,
Keep it
yeah. Okay.
working.
So then we knocked down we remember there used to be a wall right here. We knocked down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Wow.
and we raised the ceilings.
So the ceilings are taller.
Yeah, very cool.
All right, let's keep going. I'm gonna keep going. You guys are gonna trip out on this, okay? All right.
Your office right
All
there.
right, here's the downstairs bathroom now. See?
Nice.
Oh, you put a full shower.
Wow.
Wow.
To make sure, because when John had his knee surgery, we were kind of like scared.
All right, so we
That's
redid our
awesome. Very
stairs.
modern.
All right,
Oh,
we're gonna
they're
go.
so
And now I'm gonna show you our bathroom.
Don't trip going up
I
there.
All right, and so we knocked down a wall in our bathroom. We put in a window.
Oh, nice. Let's see.
All right, here we go. Okay, so this is from this angle, but now get over there. That's the bathroom now.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
I like that.
So that was it.
Stand wide over there.
And then we put this window in right here.
Good girl.
Nice.
Uh,
like
and
that.
this is
Yeah.
the
That's beautiful.
And then we
How
put
you
a little
doing?
finish in our shower.
Well, hey, don't talk like that, Johnny.
All right, let's go. We're gonna go show you
We
your
need to show Glennie his room.
Glennie's bedroom.
Oh, they're so sweet.
What how before and after? Maria, all the kids.
Wait, did we get our bathroom redone too?
Oh yeah, we'll take you to your bathroom. So now your bedroom has closets,
Oh.
Wow.
Wow.
and you got a new TV, Glennie.
Oh, I love you, dude.
Matt's drinking. Okay.
Matt's drinking.
That's okay.
And,
He's all 45 years old.
and this is your bathroom now.
Wow.
Looks nice.
Cheers, Matt.
Cheers, Matt.
One.
Cheers,
Cheers,
Matt.
man. Where's that? Come back, get you, buddy.
That's why, Uncle. That's why you have to get 2 cases. You got more drinkers now.
Yeah, everybody. So
How old's Davey?
So that took us about 7 months to do all that. So.
Wow.
I bet, yeah.
And then the economy collapsed, and so now we have no money.
Hey, glad you spent it first then, right?
You know what? We actually, got really lucky because we timed the whole thing, and we were selling equities, selling stocks and stuff like that, and we did it all at the absolute peak of the market.
Oh, that's
That's awesome.
And then I'll never forget because I became friends with the guy that did all this work. He's a super good guy, And I remember when he was just finishing up our banister, the last thing he did, I told him, dude, it's coming. It was like the conversation I had with you, Glennie, you know. And then that was it. But luckily, you know, if we had to do it, we did it. We had really perfect timing. So
that is good. Yeah.
Hey, that's nice.
Especially if you're in quarantine now, you can see through all the walls and everything. It's wide open.
God,
Yeah, or room to roam.
Yeah, just think, Stacy, if we had started the construction like 3 months ago, we'd be like,
Oh, in the middle of it all, yeah. I mean, even people that were moving through it. One of my colleagues who was moving through it, she was so stressed. She's like, I don't know if they're gonna take it or not, but my other is over, and I also scared to move during this. You know, like, I mean, it's just stressful.
Yeah. And we're all worried about money now too, because we're gonna get pay cuts, and you know it's coming. We're gonna get furlough days and pay cuts and stuff like that. So
Glennie and I are
we had
talking.
pay cuts too.
They used to have, you know, Stephen. They used to have USC. So I have a 9-month salary, and then when I do extra work, I get a 12-month salary. And so my 9-month base is good, and then I would take 5% of my 9-month base, and that would be my 401k. And USC had a matching plan of 2 to 1.
Oh yeah,
so,
I remember that.
Yeah, their 401k was amazing.
Gone.
Oh no.
2 to 1.
Yeah, and then they also notified us that we're going to be spending a lot more of our own money on our health care. And then expect, you know, like you, Glennie, they said, you know, between a 5 and 20% cut in your income too.
Yeah, mine's 12.
Wow. I know, like, I mean, I've been very lucky that like my work has not been affected at all. And I just think that, like, I even said when I started this, like, switching kind of like from a finance role to like financial technology, you know, a year and a half ago was like really good for me, just because I thought like fintech is where our world is going. And then especially now in like this time, it's like I'm so fortunate to be in fintech because I mean, I'm still getting recruiters reaching out to me and things like that, where it's like, obviously, you know, that market is still there. So I'm like, I'm really, really fortunate.
Well, especially as everything goes online, the more technologically savvy you are, the better off you are, you know. So.
Oh, yeah. Well, even like my industry is still doing well overall, but like, I mean, of course, marketing, like there's still, like, it's still, overall, it's still being cut. Regardless, even if people are spending a lot of money, which
She fell down. She fell down. Where did you go?
She's stumbling drunk.
Hey, that was what you people are telling. Oh, she's drinking that whiskey shit.
Oh my God. So Stephen, as an accountant, so we had a meeting with all the deans, and the projection, the 2-year loss for USC is between 600 and 800 million in 2 years.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Wait, like the Winter campus for all the
every day.
Then they have football stuff at the Coliseum, and then they have just the
so it's crossing.
and that was like, I don't know, 100 million or whatever.
Yeah. No, it's, I mean, imagine that in 2 years, an $800 million loss, and that's true of all universities all around the country. And so there, you know, there's a lot of Inside Education is like a publication that, you know, everybody follows, and the projection is that the survival of the fittest. So tons of small colleges are going to be gone.
Yeah, I'm sure it would be.
Yeah. That's like anything. Nick and I were just talking about that, how many small businesses are going to be affected. Because, I mean, if you're a small business, like you don't have a run rate to last you months and months and months. Like you only have, you know, a month or two.
Restaurants aren't coming back.
Yeah, I mean, you don't realize how many businesses are kind of hand to mouth, you know?
Yeah.
We had a tour company that has been around for 39 years, and they closed through this. And they were even like, the first or second week, because we were doing tourism, which like tourism Zoom calls. So just basically checking in, because we're membership based. So they pay membership and we market for them. Right. But it was like Grand Ole Opry, Gaylord, Country Music Hall of Fame, and then some tour receptives. And you could just see she was so distraught. She didn't furlough anyone, but she's like, you know what? I made it 39 years. My goal is to make it to 40 years in business. Her dad started it. She's like, there's no way I'm closing through this. And then it was like week 4 and they ended up filing bankruptcy. And it's like, I don't even think they thought it was going to be 4 or 5 weeks, you know, but then it's like, you kind of think, okay, we're all going to stay at home and then 2 weeks later we'll be back. But it was like, that was everyone's like hopeful thinking.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, 100%. I didn't even bring, they told us, oh, you guys bring home whatever, like office supplies you need. If you need your monitors, take them, whatever, take them. And I was thinking in my head, oh, we'll be back in a couple of weeks. Like, we'll be fine. And I'm like, man, I wish I would have brought those extra
Same for me, Steph. I should have brought 2 monitors. Because most people brought home 2 monitors, but I was traveling when it all happened. So my colleague brought home just like files for me. And then remember, Mom, she gave them to me at my birthday, Mary. She gave me like the files that I had asked for because I thought, oh, this will be probably like 3 weeks worth of work I could do at home. Right. And I've been working off of a laptop, but I haven't gone in to get monitors and, you know, but you don't think that it's going to be 8 weeks down the road or long. I mean, it's just crazy.
That too. He ended up going to the office and getting, you know, his files and stuff. And then next day he's telling me, oh, I got to go to husband again. I'm like, for what? You know, well, I need more files. I said, Glenn, you're supposed to be grabbing everything to work out of the house now. He's made like 4 trips because he keeps thinking, wow, got to be over now. It keeps getting stretched out every time. I told him, you know what? Don't go back. You just go see your customers that you need to. You've been working out of the house. You make your numbers. Like, there's no need for you to go to the office anymore.
You know, because we got to protect people like Julie, like Fran. You know, that's right. What it is. You know.
Hey, like you, like me, like Glenn.
That's true. I'm gonna be 60. I'll be 64 next month in June. 64.
Really?
Hey, I'm officially retired now.
Well, you guys know that my mom and dad flew to Nashville at the start of this.
Yes.
And so, I was in.
I'm gonna be the waiver at Walmart.
I was in Baton Rouge. I was actually in Louisiana that week before. And which is crazy because that ended up being a hot spot. But I was there and I was talking to my mom every day, telling her, I don't think I'm going to come to California in April because I was going to come to celebrate my 30th birthday and see my best friend's new baby. And my mom's like, yeah, you shouldn't travel right now. Like your dad wants me to go to Hawaii because the rates are so cheap. This is so stupid to travel right now. And then she shows up on my birthday and I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, I don't know. The second I heard one of my kids were on the other end of that decision, I just went.
I just remember saying that was actually the last weekend that everyone was traveling. Literally, Mom and Dad got back. Right.
And I said, Mom, you guys are at risk. She goes, well, I don't think of myself in the 6-year-older risk. I was like, just because you don't feel 60, you are.
We went to Florida to see my stepdad, and John had work to do.
I got hired by University of South Florida to review their program in Tampa.
And so we went President's Day weekend.
So in February.
And it was like I was starting to get nervous, but like nobody was wearing masks. Everything was just totally normal.
Yeah. Because it was very early on.
Fine, and
so we were just right before you. So what weekend did you go to Nashville?
I was in New Orleans and then Baton Rouge the 15th through the 9th through like the 11th.
Oh yeah, Stacy had just gone to everything prior to.
Sorry, 6th through the 11th. So I went early just to enjoy New Orleans, and that was the hot spot apparently. You know.
Well, it was Mardi Gras because it was here since November. You know, but it's exponential. It's slow and then woof. And,
well, you know,
so
like
Mardi
for
Gras
me,
was just bam.
Stacy was dodging bullets everywhere she went.
You know, for me, it's like I was traveling every Monday through Thursday for the last since April 1st of last year. I had like only 5 weeks where I didn't travel.
You went to Miami, right?
And I was going to Miami.
Oh my gosh.
And my mom started texting saying like, oh, do you think you should get a mask or anything? And I was like, no, I think I'm fine. And then it went from like 0 to 100. It was kind of like starting to get worse. And then Deloitte was all like, no, like everyone's fine. And then it was like, they wrote it on like the Tuesday or Wednesday. And then like the Thursday, they're like, no more travel until for 2 weeks. And then obviously now it's been like 10 weeks since then. Yeah. But it's like, my whole life has completely changed because Monday through Thursday, like everyone's all like, oh, saving so much money and stuff. Like, actually for me, like I got my food and drink paid for Monday through Thursday. So I was like, I'm spending a lot more on like food and drink. Like, I mean, I can have a few wines.
No, I mean it's
though. And you look at your credit card bill, you're like, dang, I really did I don't do anything anymore. I don't spend anything. I don't go anywhere. I don't,
No, I mean it's gonna have to open. So I'll toot my own horn, but if you guys have a chance, so I'm good friends with the chief medical officer for New York City's emergency preparedness program for COVID-19. And he just moved out there and took it over 6 weeks ago. And I did an interview with him. I don't know if you saw that, Stephen, but I'll
I saw the interview that you did. Yes, it used to be one of your students, right?
On TV recently, but we haven't.
It was one of your students, Uncle?
Yeah, he used to be a student. And he's like a big wheel. But I mean, we have to he said, we can't live like this, but we have to be smart. And being smart is we have to wear masks.
Yeah.
And it is what it is, and so I have a couple of friends that are from, South Korea, a friend from China, and it's just like putting on a pair of sunglasses, it's like when stuff breaks out, they throw their masks on back there, and we have to get over our kind of American arrogance and just do it.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It's so true.
No, I agree.
No, even the way, I mean, you know what? We've always been huggers, not shakers,
Yeah.
And like when we were in Tennessee, and Stacy's like, Mom, you gotta hands back.
Yeah.
And so, next thing we're going out to dinner, and I'm hugging the waiter, taking a selfie with all of our crowd, and she's like, "That's what I mean. Like you guys are like, you guys are like on roller skates, you don't know how to." And I'm like, "Well, we're trying."
Yeah, and we'll get there. It's just gonna take about a year. We'll get there, but we got to change.
Yeah. It's just foreign to begin with, what I mean?
No.
But we're trying.
Believe me, man. When I do my classrooms, I have such profound attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. So I'm in a class. I have a class of 200 students. It's a big auditorium, and I have somebody else that's behind the lectern, and I walk a big U, and the whole time I'm like, when I'm lecturing, and I can't do that next year.
Uncle, Hassy's not still dean, is he?
Yes, he is.
Is he?
Yeah. Well, you know what? It was because of me. Because I bring in so much freaking money.
We bumped up the class that we teach together is 250 students a semester. So you remember that, Stephen. So when it's close to $8,000 a class, and that's what it is at USC.
That's
so
crazy.
$5,000 per student goes to Hassy's pocket, goes to gerontology because of us.
And then he started another class that's 200.
Wait, Auntie Julie, say it again. We can't hear you.
So anyway, John started teaching these classes that have a lot of students, like 200, 250 students.
Way better.
Wow.
Those are the ones that were got passed as more of like the general ed. Is that correct?
That was the one.
Yes. Okay, I remember.
I filled the auditorium. 200 students.
Holy moly.
Yeah. So it started out, it was like 50 people. And then he was like, let's bump it up a little bit, like 150. And then now it's 200.
200. And then the other class that we teach online is 250 every semester. So, people have grants and da-da-da. So I bring in probably 7 times more income than any other professor,
So the budget for the school went from like 10 million to 20 million because of all the tuition dollars.
Gosh, wow. Is Eileen still around?
Yeah, she
You're
is.
a cash cow over
Yeah,
there.
she's around. Yeah.
You know who's gone? Dominic is gone. And you know what? I'm not going to say anything, but we may have had a hand in this.
Wow.
We said Dominic
We were laughing.
Because I don't want to jeopardize that ruling that was made for you, Stephen. But we had an influence.
What about Sean?
John Curran.
He's still there.
Yeah.
And he had an influence. Who else? All right.
Wait,
No,
wait, dude, what?
No, but
You know what? Everybody that did an exit interview had an
yeah,
influence.
there were like 25 people that hated Dominic, and they were all helping out.
Yeah.
Wait, was the mystery ever solved about where Sean's twins came from?
No, no.
That's still a mystery, huh?
What?
He's very low key. Like he
Yeah.
doesn't talk about stuff like that.
No, he
He
doesn't.
just one day was like, "Oh, I have twin babies," and everyone's like, "Oh, you do? Okay."
Yeah.
I mean, like Russian babies or
No,
something like
no,
that.
No.
They're adopted, you know, but I don't, maybe he provided his sample, but
Yeah.
I think it was his sample.
He has brought them to school, and they're really cute.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Sean keeps his personal life completely, no
Personal.
one knows anything about
Yeah.
Sean. So,
Wait,
Yeah.
so you guys teach a class together? I didn't know that.
every semester.
What class is that?
It's a life skills course. So it's called the Science of Adult Development. But we really, what happened? It became a ghetto for the business school, and so we just really, so
The
we
Walsh
made it
hour.
more business like. So it does the projections that old people are just gonna overwhelm the economy, overwhelm social problems, and da. So we give them all the numbers. We give them the horrible biology. We tell them, okay, guess what? When we have all these old people, cancer, diabetes, heart disease, Alzheimer's, we go through that. Then we go into the burden of caregiving that Mia's having to deal with right now, that I dealt with, that Julie dealt with, and then the last third of the class is all economics. So world economics, national economics. Financial planning. So I have a whole lecture and a half all about Roth IRAs, annuities.
Can you send me that webinar?
Skills, though. It really is. It's like life skills. Like, because there's so many, like Nick and I have talked about it before, how there's so many classes that it's like you think to yourself, like, okay, and you don't know if you're going to use that information or not. I mean, I think some of it is just more of like, just the, like, understanding how to learn and all that. But if you think about that, that's like more like a life skills, something that you actually
totally. And I get people coming back year after year saying it was even, it's an online course. It's been online for 8 years. It's the best class they ever took at UC because they use it.
I remember one of my business courses talked about investing in your IRAs and all that, and they basically, the biggest thing you took from that is there's one thing you can't get back, and that's time. And since then I've started to save since that class, and I've never stopped.
That's great. That's very smart.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then she
finishes. I love you guys. I'm gonna jump back in the pool right now. I'm trying to get a little bit of the time. If I come back in, I'll see you.
Bye.
Good to see you.
Bye,
guys.
Sissy.
Bye.
We'll have to do this in person real soon.
I know.
Yes.
Yeah,
We'll
we'll
do
do that
it
at your
now,
house.
though.
You got a newly remodeled everything. So yeah,
Mom, scoot over now, Mom.
We'll reserve our room that we got over there.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Here, you way better now.
Plus one that's going to be coming with them.
Hey, we'll even bring the bed and breakfast meal in the morning because we got Chef 1 and Chef 2.
That's awesome.
And me and you, Julie, me and you could just go on the spa and relax.
That's right. I have been cooking 24/7 for the last 2 months.
You have.
Wait, what'd she say?
Oh, because everyone's home.
Julie's been cooking all day, every day.
I got this new cookbook that I absolutely love that I've been trying new recipes out from. So I'm having my mom, dad, and grandma as a guinea pigs, and I think they're enjoying it more than I am.
I'm telling you, we got a carousel going over here between Steven and Grandma and Glenn.
It's called there's this it's a chef that he grew up like in the Middle East, but he lives in London for like the last 20 years, and he has about like 10 restaurants in the UK. So he has like everything is like a lot of like different spices from like the Middle East, but then he like has like kind of like this modern like more Western like twist on it. So they've been really good.
You have to send us the name because she has about 100 cookbooks.
Me too. Like I literally probably now have like 9 or 10 cookbooks, and I'm like, well, I'm just gonna bring one back with me. But yeah, like
no, it's fine. Dave's like you, Stephen. He's a cooker too. So
yeah.
Auntie Julie, what's your email?
Oh, it's J Walsh Law.
Well, you want some help? Like what? Legal help?
No, because you said she liked cookbooks, and
Can you see that?
for
That's what Stephen made this morning for breakfast.
Oh, that looks
Beautiful.
awesome.
What's it called, Stephen, again?
Shakshuka.
Shakshuka, a Middle Eastern recipe
Cool.
that was excellent.
And Stacy, mine's easy too. Mine's jwalsh@usc.edu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, so right now Nashville for marketing, obviously, since everything's been closed, they took all of our like chef-driven like James Beard restaurants, and they created a digital cookbook. And every week they started they add a new one. And so I'm gonna send it to you guys, and then it'll update weekly with like a new starters, entree, dessert. But there's like an initial digital cookbook, and it's all of our.
Do they still have a restaurant called the Loveless Cafe?
Yeah.
Yeah, we went there many years ago.
Hot biscuits.
Oh, the biscuits.
Birthday.
Yeah.
For their birthday.
I was eating the biscuits. I was eating biscuits. He was like, man.
Stacy, tell them to move over.
And they're so hometown comfort.
Push
the whole
laptop
restaurant saying happy birthday to them.
They love Uncle Mike.
It was so cool.
Shots of Kentucky. We're not Kentucky. Tennessee whiskey. Michael whiskey.
Oh my God.
It was so much
Was it
fun.
fun?
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Yeah, you know how they have moonshine here?
Yeah.
They brought out like a little one this big, and my dad and uncle took it, and uncle's like, that's too strong. And it's like obviously like a very mild moonshine. It's not like the illegal whatever, but uncle's like, I can't do that.
Oh, funny.
No, me neither. I'm a wino.
Is G leaving?
What's that?
Is G leaving, Stephen?
No.
There she is.
Oh, she's just standing.
Yeah. And you know, and she is an unbelievable New Orleans cook. So she has memorized Paul Prudhomme's cookbook, and she makes a badass jambalaya. Oh
I was just gonna ask if you have a good jambalaya. Okay, so I'll send you that recipe, and then Uncle Johnny could send me your email and send a jambalaya, because when I went to New Orleans, they had like some great jambalaya.
Yeah.
I've never had jambalaya.
We've even made our own beignets here.
Whoa!
Yeah, my mom sent from Cafe Du Monde. She sent the beignet mix to David, and John and I are driving back from San Diego, and you're supposed to fry it in the oil, and David didn't understand that you fry it in the oil, so he was talking to me on the phone, and he's like, "So, what temperature should I put the oven at?" And I'm like, "Oh no." But then once he figured it out, he made the most unbelievable beignets. They were just like New Orleans style.
Wow.
Yeah, we did our you know how there's Cafe Du Monde, and then there's beignet cafe. Wait,
not Port of Call.
There's two.
Yeah.
Cafe Beignet.
Yeah.
So I got the box from there, and we did it. And Daniel's like, "What are these? These are amazing."
When I went there.
Oh, Daniel liked them, huh?
You have to eat them within the first 30 seconds after they're cooked.
They're not as good cold. Yeah.
No.
Yes. I actually saved the dough, because he's like, "Why don't you just make it all up?" I was like, "No, you can't make it all up and rewarm it up. They have to be fresh." So I was like, "Let's just save the dough and redo it."
Funny.
Very cool. Very cool.
Awesome. Well, I'm getting drunk like every night.
Hey, that was
so
a
are
classic.
the boys with
That
you
was a
guys
classic
until
when you said you had your meeting? Nope, gotta turn that off. Don't got time for that. I'm in another meeting.
So are the boys with you guys for a while now then? Because obviously
so Dave came home at like March 10th or something.
Yeah, it was so they had this warning. USC, okay, you gotta it was the second week of March. It's time to try Zoom because there's a chance. And then spring break was the next week, and then that was it. And
so they were kind of ahead of it already.
Yeah.
And it was funny. It was a weird. It's an interesting story. It was a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. So they finally said, okay, everybody needs to sign up and go back and get their
May 1st.
May 1st, get their shit out of the dorms, and so it was like, I don't know if you guys saw that documentary Chernobyl, or about that one.
Yes.
I did see it.
So you remember when they cleared out the city, and it was like this photograph of a moment in time. All the tricycles were there. So we go back to the dorms, and it was like it blew my mind. I took a bunch of pictures. It was like Chernobyl, because you go into the dorms, and they have in the dorms the racks for the skateboards. They're full of skateboards because everybody left thinking they're going to come back, and it's all there. All the bike racks, every bike rack on campus is full of bikes.
Wow.
Weird. Yeah, it was weird.
So they set it up so only 25 people can move out per day, but probably even less than that. So when Dave moved out, there was one other person in the whole building moving out. So they had it all.
Wow.
They had it all set up so that they wouldn't have too many people coming at the same time.
But you don't fuck around with me.
That's kind of weird though too, when everyone kind of like gets off campus, because then they kind of other people may realize, oh, that campus is vacant now, and then who knows what occurs.
They have full security and all that. But when we went in to move Dave out, so this is when Garcetti, the mayor of LA, said, okay, this is lockdown. We're gonna have masks, da da da. And USC is like promoting, okay, we're towing the line. We're gonna do this. So we go in, and they have these 3 staff members behind the desk in Dave's dorm, and Dave and I walk in with our masks, and I look at him and say, "Where's your freaking mask?" And then this woman says, "I don't like the way they feel," and then she pulls it up and she puts it on and takes it off. So then I reported them to the head. What was her name?
Health and safety.
Health and safety. And
oh, geez, health and safety. That's a good one. Health and safety representing, but no mask.
No, he reported it to that, Mom.
You don't need that shit.
No, that's what I was telling my mom the other day. She was wearing a mask and she touched it again, adjusted. I was like, Mom, the whole point is you put the mask on, don't touch it. I said, you've touched it like 4 times since I've talked to you.
I know, when Dad was at the last week on Sunday, when we were visiting Grandma Lucy, he kept doing the same thing. He was pulling it, putting his fingers in, and I'm like, you're deceiving the whole purpose of wearing this mask. They're like, your fingers in there, your fingers on your face. I'm like, my dad last week he's putting his fingers on his face, and I'm like,
we need like public service education on masks now too.
Yeah, I was just like, I'm gonna get you in that back room and quarantine you from us. Like, you gotta get out of here.
Oh man,
that's funny. That's funny. Well, I have a total recording of this session that I will send you guys.
You're still recording. Oh no.
What I do is I always convert all my recordings to YouTube. So I'll make a YouTube out of this, and then.
Oh my God.
Oh no. I don't want to watch this.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Fran, don't go away. There she goes.
Auntie Julie, don't say nothing you don't want recorded, right?
Yeah. Oh my God. So one day he had been online. He had been teaching, I had been teaching, and we're all supposed to be done. And I go in the kitchen, and we're just like standing around the kitchen talking. I look over to his laptop, and I kid you not, the laptop's open, and there's a person in a little square. And I'm like, John, is your webcam still live? And he's like, maybe.
Maybe.
Waiting, and I'm sure she's like listening to our conversation, and she's waiting for us to stop talking so that she can ask him a question.
Oh my gosh.
And after that, I was just like, ah.
I have the little thing that you just like switch it, like, you know? Yeah, so it's like,
Thank you, Stephen.
Well, at least mine does a little white light when it's on, so I know. But yeah, it freaks me out too now.
No, it's okay, because we're just in the kitchen doing this,
Now we were having some totally like okay conversation, but now I'm like totally paranoid. So anytime I walk into the room, if his laptop's open, I shut it real quick.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, it was so good seeing you guys.
Yeah, we're gonna come visit you.
We will, you know.
When it's safe, I would love for you guys to come.
We
That'd
will,
be awesome.
we will, and we're gonna have the reenactment party where we stuff all the kids with us in the jacuzzi. We won't fit anymore.
Yes.
The then and now picture.
Yeah.
I know. We have some really cute pictures of Stacy and Stephanie when they were little, like holding that on their hips.
I would do that when you guys would party.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll do it again. We'll have some more parties. That was
Hey,
fun.
now they could hold you instead. Those bigger boys.
No doubt.
Right?
Funny.
No doubt.
Love
Okay,
you.
love
No,
you
yeah, I
guys.
can't wait till the day we have some parties back at home. Mine and Daniel's
for
goal is
sure.
to end up back in Orange County. So
We will.
Okay.
We will. All
Bye,
right.
you guys.
Alrighty, love you guys. Take
Love
care.
you. Love
Take care,
you.
guys.
Be
Love you.
safe.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, then I go like
Now,
this.
where's your did you do the screenshot?
Wait a minute.